Hello, my name is Mario Rago with Rago Fabrication. Today we're going to install this 5D Freedom LED bar on this Toyota Tacoma using our Rago Fabrication LED brackets. These brackets allow this LED bar to sit behind this plastic grill without any cutting or modification, and we're going to do a tutorial of how to install that today. So let's begin. So to begin this installation, we're going to use Rago Fabrication's patent pending relay bracket. It allows you to put on 3 relays in a factory location on your truck using the supplied stainless steel screws. All you have to do is screw in the screws by hand. They'll line right up. Very easily. Here. There you go. And grab the Allen wrench that comes with the LED bar and just go ahead and tighten that up. And then grab your relay. Your relay is going to have this metal tab in the back, and you can get a pocket knife or a screwdriver or anything, and what we're going to do is pry up on this plastic piece here so we can slide this metal piece out. And I'm going to attempt to do this backwards. See if I can do that. Just pry it up. Metal tab comes out, and all you have to do is slide this relay on this tab there, and it'll put you in the good position so you can hook this wire up. It'll give you a good determination of how to run these wires once the bar is in. I'd like to do this first because it'll give me a good reference of how to run the wires before I put in the bar, because the last thing you want to do is put everything back together and have to run the wires with all that stuff back in place. So let's go to the next step. So to begin this install, we have to take off the grill. To take off the grill, you see a 10mm wrench. Unscrew this bolt here very easily, and there's one on the other side. And then we have these plastic tabs. To take off the plastic tabs, get a pocket screwdriver or a knife, and all you have to do is pry up right here and just pop them right out. There's one on the other side. There's also one down caddy corner right below this one that you have to take out. It's gonna be hard to film, but just know you got to take that one out, and this will pop right off, and then we'll move on to the next step. So after we remove the grill, which required just bottom force to remove it, to release it from these tabs, we're going to take off this transcooler, and to do that is just 3 bolts. There's one here. I'm selecting to remove this bolt and the bolt down here. We're going to do that just so we can slide the LED bar in, and it goes in pretty good, except it wants to pinch this hose, and I don't want to put any pressure on this hose here and cut it up with the bar or anything like that. So I'm just going to choose to remove this. We haven't begun to install the brackets yet. We're going to do that last. We're going to install this because it's a lot easier in the end result. So as you can see, the transcooler is moved. I'm going to slide in the bar here, get it past the transcooler here, and just set it there. Remember what side you want the power on, and reinstall this transcooler. So to start disconnecting these bumper bolts, the outside bumper bolts, there's just 2 of them. What I like to do is shoot WD-40 or PB Blaster on it. What I found in the past is dirt collects in the threads, and once you start breaking those loose, the dirt gets on the threads of the nut and galls them up pretty bad. So what I like to do is just shoot them with PB Blaster, WD-40 a little bit, let them soak in. You do the other side and let them soak, then go underneath and go ahead and take off those nuts. I'm gonna shoot this a little bit more so I can get a little bit closer, and I can show you how to do that. I have my 14mm wrench. This is a ratcheting wrench. If you have one, your life will be a little bit easier. If you don't, you'll be sitting there a little bit longer, loosening them up. These are tight, so don't be afraid to put some muscle into it. Okay, so now that we removed those 2 outer bolts holding on the bumper there, we're going to take the Rago Fabrication LED bracket and we're going to go underneath. We're going to slide it up in there. Over there's 2 studs. And then we're going to reinstall the nuts that you just took off. And go ahead and snug them up. Don't tighten them up yet until the LED bar is bolted in and it's adjusted in height where you want it. We're going to run to the other side and do the other side. And the next step, we're going to show you the adjustment and the final steps. So we installed our Rago Fabrication LED brackets on this Tacoma, and as you can see, our LED is mounted in there, and the brackets right now are just snug on there. I just want to check the height. There's a little adjustment, but not much, and we're pretty much centered. So the other adjustment is the front to back adjustment on this LED bar, and it's pretty close. I like to put it just off the plastic so it doesn't rub, and then you can go ahead and tighten it up. The next step would be to connect the connectors on the LED bar, which we haven't put the spade connectors on there yet. And I want to talk about the wiring. So as we do the wiring, there's a lot of wiring that is in excess when you go ahead and route this. What I usually do is I cut off the connectors to get rid of all the excess wiring, because excess wiring is more of a problem than weather tightness. So I know these are really good connectors, but I don't really deal with that because it's irrelevant in the end. So all this wiring would be left over and you have to bunch up somewhere and it can chafe down the road. So our next step is we're gonna put this all together and hook up the wiring, and I'll show you how to route the wires in the cab, because today we're gonna do the factory switch and I'll show you how to wire that also.